Hey guys, welcome to the All Inclusive
Uh,
Podcast. It's episode
Hello.
5. We have a special guest here with us today. But I will first introduce my co-host, of course, as I am Brian, and it's
Zerona with an X.
classic. And super excited. Have one of my good friends that I made in Korea. One of my, I would say, best friends that I made in Korea. So this makes 2/3 of us, since there was three of us mostly. It's Jae Jun.
My name is Jae Jun. My friends call me just Junjae. Yeah. Uh,
Well, so excited to have him here. I'm excited to get to know him better, to talk, and to, obviously talk about anything that we kind of want to. So it's super exciting, guys. So yeah, I am very thrilled to have him here as a special guest. So why don't we just before going into his, everything about him, let's talk about how have you guys been? Let's talk. Let's say that first. So, Zerona, how have you been since the last episode?
Broke. 건 없어. Oh, I've been broke. Living, I just found out that living as a broke person requires so much like smartness, you know? Because like now I calculate how much I spend without even using the cash. So I feel like college really made me economical. I don't know if that makes sense, or I don't know if that's sad. But yeah. Like I calculate like how many ramyuns that I'll be like, okay, like if I eat like two ramyuns and I break it into like two different pieces that like make it like four ramyuns, I can use that four ramyuns and eat it with like rice and like that, you know. And yeah, you guys have never done that before?
oh,
No? No? Am I that broke? Yeah. So basically, yeah. I'm being more economical, I'm being more smarter now. So
Okay, okay. What about you, Jeju? How have you been?
oh, oh. I'm I'm resting in my hometown island, Koje. Yeah.
고제
Oh,
좋아요.
yeah. Yeah. You know?
Been there
I
like
wake
four
my
times.
yeah my puppy Gio and Lincoln they work together,
Oh,
and I learned go
Golf.
golf.
Mm.
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah, yeah. And I was travel Europe and Japan 1 month.
oh, good, 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 good,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It's
No, yeah, yeah,
really nice time to me.
yeah. Jeju
That's
definitely
good.
traveled a lot.
Yeah,
Definitely. I saw all the pictures and everything. He was definitely
yeah.
traveling. So definitely check that out. Check his Instagram. All the cool photos and everything that he posted. But so cool. We'll start now. So first question I would see that we kind of all want to know is let's first start off with how we met, Jeju. Let's start off with how me and you met.
Mm. Oh,
Talk
we.
about that, and then we'll
Mm-hmm,
start going more into about your life, growing up, your hometown,
mm-hmm,
and family, going to Seoul.
mm-hmm.
But let's talk about how we met first, so we can introduce everyone
Ah,
how we became friends.
yeah.
So
Uh-huh. Uh, we met in organization behavior class. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really alone because I'm first English class for me,
Oh,
and I don't know anyone. Uh, then Brian said to me, hi to me first, and offered me a seat with him. Yeah, really, thank you very much. Yeah,
갑자기? Just like that?
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just like that.
Wait, check up on it. So was it like first day of school, second day of school, third day? Was like
No, no,
It maybe second day.
second day of school.
Yeah.
no. It was like a couple weeks in already. It was at
Like
least
Yeah.
three
it was at
weeks, 2 weeks.
least 2, yeah, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
So
Yeah.
check up
Yeah.
on. So you
Yeah.
just saw Jae Jun and you're like, hey man, you want to sit with me? Like that? It's like that, right?
Kind
Like
of.
that, like that.
Yeah. So
Oh, I'm really thank you.
okay.
Mm.
No, but so I'll explain a little bit of what. So I was, yeah, it was like 2 weeks into the class, and we were sitting we our group that we became like really close friends, me, June, and Brett. We were all sitting
Yeah.
on the same side, but not together. And I didn't know anyone in the class either. Kedem was in the same class also, but I didn't know her at the time as well. And I don't know. One day, just sitting there, I was like, okay, I need to like make friends in this class, or it's gonna be kind of boring. So I kind of like
True, true,
turned,
true.
looked around, and then like try to like make friends here and there. And the first person I saw was Brett.
Mm.
So one of the other one that we're missing a part of our three-man group. Um,
Oh.
I talked to him first, and I was like, "Oh, hello, what's your name? Where are you from?" And then he told me, "Oh, hi, my name is Brett. I'm studying in Spain, but I'm French, and then I know all these different languages." And we became like really close to him. And he sits literally right behind me, so that's how we got like kind of close there. And then Jae Jun walks in. I didn't know him, and he was gonna sit in front of me, one of the seats in front. And that's when I literally was like, you know what? Let me just say hello or be like friendly. So I was literally,
Mm-mm.
oh, hello. Oh, what's your name? And then he turned around and he was like, oh, and I was like, oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Would you like to like sit down and become friends? I literally said that. And then he was like, oh, yeah. And then he literally just sat down right next to me. And we literally became friends. Like, it was super quick. We also talked with
Yeah.
Brett. And then that's how we became so close. Literally, like, as far as that class, they were like the main people. And then before class,
Mm.
get coffee,
Yeah.
a lot of things together. And they literally became like some of the closest people I talked with in Korea. So uh,
Wow.
he's thankful for me for saying that. Now, but I'm more thankful for him for obviously yes and becoming a friend of mine. Obviously, someone that I very cherish a lot for sure.
Oh. But
Very
check
appreciative.
him out. Like, I have a question for Judge. Like, when Brian was like, "Can you sit down with me?" How did you feel? Were you like,
Um,
Oteo? Like, were you like,
uh,
do I really need to sit down with this guy?
uh, for first is really surprised
Oh, okay. Like,
to hi and introduce self to me.
mm, mm,
Um,
mm, mm.
but um, but second, I really afraid she appreciate it. Yeah.
Brian, yeah, Brian no more so. Brian's a little bit scary.
어, 첫인상은 first
Mm,
insight is
Uh,
really scare, a little scared, not really, a
yeah,
little scared, but
good shit.
he's friendly, yeah, to me.
Mm, like winning the pool.
oh, I'll take that.
Really? I think
That's
he's
pretty good.
very smart or technically well.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, definitely. It, I'm not gonna lie, it was intimidating saying hello though. It definitely is
Mm,
not mostly my style. I tend to really
mm,
be more laid back and let things kind of happen.
mm.
So that was one of the few times I really like just said, "Oh, let me just try to make friends," and that's when I like.
True.
But,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's how me, Jun met Brett. That's how we became super close. But yeah, so that's how we got to know each other. That's how me and him became super close, and then now he knows Arona, so we'll become all friends. But yeah, But okay, now we'll get into the real nice stuff. Jae Jun,
Mm.
let's talk about
Yeah.
you. How was it, growing up?
It's
How
me. Okay.
was, obviously you're Korean, so what are like things that you grew up with? Not only as far as like your interests, but like things that you wanted to do or
Mm-hmm.
different things that now that you're older and
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm.
so many people from different parts of the world, so many different countries.
Mm.
What are things that are the same and what are things that are different? Um, just talk
Mm-hmm.
about how was it growing up
Yeah.
that time
Okay.
learning so many
Okay. 얘기했던 것처럼, I
Mm.
grew in Gaje Island,
different.
the second biggest island in
Ellen.
South Korea. Yeah.
Mm.
So I can see ocean every day,
Mm.
and I can go to beach with my
Mm.
friend every summer. I really friendly water and beach,
Mm.
so I swimming well, and I I grew up doing activity more than
Mhm.
study. Yeah,
Good,
like
good, good.
cycle or hiking. Yeah, and and like travel with my dad another
Mm.
city
Mm.
or another country. Yeah,
Mm. Mm.
it, yeah. So it was really good for me. I can my study record 성적
성적.
Mm.
yeah, is
Like
not
great.
grade is not well, but Korea have another system, not
Mm.
just test for go to
University.
um, university. Um, 수능 like very big test
Mm. Like an entrance
and
exam.
yeah. And another system is my story and 면접.
Like introduction about yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
about
yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I choose that way,
Okay.
so I can come. So it's that way. But
Mm.
yeah, it's really lucky for me.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
It's just,
So yeah, yes. So I study management now
oh,
and finance.
oh.
Yeah, it is very interesting. And this semester, I add Culture industry is like animation or uh, a festival and
Oh,
exhibition. Yeah,
oh.
yeah. I interested in that.
Those kind of things.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and this day I want to study real estate,
Real estate.
부동산.
부동산. Real estate.
Yeah, yeah. And luxury brand design.
오,
Oh.
So, 수강 신청.
Ah,
빈촌, 부산
Yeah,
빈촌
that
있지.
that
Like those kind
course.
of areas.
Yeah,
yeah.
this day
알겠습니다.
I
잠깐만,
study
질문
that.
있어요. 이거
Yeah.
MBTI 뭐예요? What is your MBTI?
I know my MBTI
E
ENTP.
ENTP.
Yeah.
오,
You know well about MBTI.
이건 안 돼. Not really. I only know my MBTI because me and Brian go MBTI 똑같아.
Oh, okay.
MBTI.
I guess it.
그,
First is E.
그렇지. 그렇지, 그렇지.
Second is really hard. I think N.
Ooh.
그렇지. 오. Okay, okay.
And third
Just think
is
about Brian. Just think about Brian.
oh yeah, F.
Oh,
마지막?
Oh,
last one.
oh, I think J.
Oh, and that's why we're friends, guys. That's why we're friends.
Correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Correct.
박수.
Exactly correct.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
Me and Zorona are the same, actually. MBTI.
But I'm prettier.
Oh.
It's definitely.
Oh.
Okay. And Karen, if you guys remember,
Get it?
she's also part of that ANFJ. But
Mhm.
yeah, we're similar. But I actually didn't
Mm.
know. Yeah, so it's actually good to know.
Mhm.
So we have that E part of us, and I can definitely see that for sure. And,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So my next question I kind of wanted to ask you a little bit was, what are things that you maybe want to do in the future? I know
Mm.
you love traveling. You've been traveling, like you've been to so many
Mhm.
places already. You obviously
Mhm.
like art. When I was there with you, we saw not only like art pieces, but pottery. You also love
Oh.
doing that. You love so many different parts of your cultures, like a lot, and that was so awesome to see. So I'm curious of like maybe what are places you want to go to, or things that you want to do in the future, different aspects like that to get to see the kind of person you are in terms of like maybe what you look for.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Last year I was interested in pottery, you said. So I went to learn
Mhm.
and
Oh.
I run hand building at the workshop,
Yeah.
Oh.
but I don't want to craftman. I don't
Mhm.
want to craftman. It's just 취미.
What do you
Mhm.
mean? Like a hobby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just hobby for me.
Mhm.
So I want to make business that industry, yeah, like pottery or Korean, uh, sorry,
Never change.
oh yeah, Korean tradition culture,
Mhm.
like pottery or 음, 도자기 병풍, yeah,
Painting?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Team.
painting or other things. Yeah,
Mhm.
I want to make business that way, but it was really hot and very small market size. Mm, so I think it is not be short of money.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I choose first money and make business. And so I want to make education group.
Mhm.
Mm, like school or high school or um, college,
Oh.
university, yeah, to educate Korean culture
Oh.
and make make real craftsman.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is my older purpose. My younger purpose is use finance and investment. So I want to work in um, financial company. Yeah,
Mm.
like stock fund or
Wow.
bank. Yeah. First, I want to work there and have money and using my hobby to make
Make money.
business. Yeah.
Mm.
And finally wanted to evaluate or announce
Mm.
globally we are
Oh.
Korean culture. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's nice. That's nice.
Mm.
That's really smart too, because
Mm.
like people make money through their hobbies. Someone like me, I have no hobby, so that's why I'm broke.
Mm,
My
thank
hobby
you.
is sleeping. I'm really good at sleeping, you know.
Yeah, good.
Obviously.
Anything happens, like even if there's a storm, even if it's okay. I
Oh,
sleep in every situation.
oh.
But I
Sleeping
can't
well
make
is good.
money. Yeah, I can, but I cannot make money sleeping. That's the thing.
Mhm.
It's just then my second option is to be a comedian. But I don't know if that's gonna go.
No, that's not gonna work.
Okay.
Actually, it might work out to be honest. But no, definitely. Uh, Going back to what you said,
Mhm,
it's super awesome that that's one of your hobbies that you love, like your Korean, traditional
mhm.
culture. That's so awesome, and
Yeah.
that's one
Mm,
thing that you definitely told me a lot about when we were there and talked about like all those different things that you wanted to do. So
Mhm,
actually thinking about what you said definitely makes sense, like getting into a job like stocks or going into banking.
mhm,
Uh, First starting off, gaining that like assets and money that you would need in order to start maybe your own business later down the road.
right.
School or education is the smartest way to go. So I
Yeah.
definitely, see that that's the best way to go. And then
mhm,
obviously things like culture is something that I think sadly we've seen less of, like more
mhm,
recently. I think people
Mm,
are maybe not forgetting about uh, things that make their own culture so beautiful, but maybe not sharing enough of it.
mhm,
Um,
true, true.
it's always so special and wonderful to have, people like Jae Jun who love where they're from and love all those different aspects and want to show it to the world, show it to everyone because it's super cool and it's super awesome. Like being there in Korea, seeing all those different like everything, like architecture, the food, to people, to art, to everything is just incredible, So
mhm,
having someone like him to be able to share it and
mhm,
being able to give it to the world, I think it's an awesome and beautiful way that how things should be. So super proud of him for saying that, and then obviously I'm sure that he will definitely definitely do it
mhm.
and definitely get there. We'll
Man,
see. We'll obviously be beside him all the way. We'll definitely be there for him whenever he needs us for sure. Uh, but now let's maybe actually, Zorona, do you have maybe something that you would want to ask, and then I'll ask something.
opposite.
Mhm,
So, so I've been to Goje like 4 times.
mhm,
What is the best? Because I know in the spring, the cherry blossom, especially Oedo Island,
mhm.
is very
Oh.
popular. So if you were to advise anyone
Mhm.
to go to any place in Goje, which place would you
Mm.
advise? Odi.
Um, I really really recommend that place is Wedo, like Yoido, another island near Goje.
Ah,
Yeah, Wedo is have this
Wow.
view.
oh, oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
I really like this island um because uh I have to go that
island.
sorry. 배를 타야 돼요. 저희 가려면.
뭐라고?
Have to ride boat.
Both.
배 타고,
예,
그치.
Yeah.
can't
그치.
Either
swim.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, too far. But that ocean view is very beautiful,
Mm.
and sunset is so really good. Yeah, so I recommend that island.
어,
Another island near
거제.
Goje. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But in Goje,
응.
yeah.
아,
So I recommend that place.
okay.
And
What about 음식? 어떤 음식
oh,
좋아해?
in Goje.
거제.
Oh,
Like what food?
Goje have oyster in
Mm.
oyster. Yeah, Goje have really nice oyster
Oysters. Okay.
and very 잘 알려져 있다.
아,
Mm.
Is famous
famous in Korea.
in
In 거제.
Korea. Yeah, yeah. Goje oyster or Tongyang oyster is very famous and
Mm.
very tasty. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Oh.
I recommend to you.
Because I'm going to go in 2 weeks.
Oh.
그치?
Oh, really?
Yeah. 이거 tour guide야. So I'm a tour guide. So
Mm.
I'm going to
Oh yeah, you
Jinhae.
did say.
Yeah. So I'm going to Jinhae and then going to Goje. So
Mm.
because we go to the same places, so I was looking for like nice places to go to Goje
Mm.
and what to eat. So thank you for your recommendation.
Yeah,
감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다.
All right. So now let's maybe talk about some interesting things. Like, I know that you have traveled a lot, Jae Jun, and
Oh, yeah.
I know that you love it, and you've been to a lot of different places. You grew up a lot.
Mhm,
I would say around Korea a little bit as well. So
mhm,
what I wanted to ask you was, is there mm, any advice or anything that maybe people that are traveling to new places should do, maybe to not be afraid to maybe try different places to eat or go to places that maybe um, aren't as famous? Because I think those are usually places that you get more of the culture, more of the actual like feel of the place than a place that's just full of like people that are just there to just see it for like one time and then leave. So I'm curious to ask you if there's like with all your travels, is there any advice or anything that you do that can maybe help other people when they travel, like maybe be more happy or make them more excited to be in such a like new place? So that's my question for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So my MBTI is ENTP.
Mm-hmm.
P is very spontaneous.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah. So I don't have um really tight schedule. I don't
Yeah.
like it. So I think travel have many trouble and accident. So I think mindset or mindful is very important in trip or travel because you have a face big or small travel. You can make that experience or just accident. And I think travel can make accident to experience. So you have to set mind. Oh, it's my experience. Oh, I lost my phone or my baggage. It's okay. It's my experience. That mindset is very
Yes.
good for me. Yeah,
Mm.
and yeah, they can make me go next level or next city. So,
Right.
I recommend setting mindset. Mindset is very important.
Mm.
And second thing is I travel many city or many country that winter. I see the another countries people have another lifestyle or
Mm.
another daily feelings in the
Mm.
face. Like Italian is always exciting or
Mm.
hot, uh, but Japan is very calm and yeah, uh, just like cynical, yeah,
Mm.
or it's just my my side. It's just
Yeah.
my side, but I think
Mm.
is uh you can see another country's feeling or lifestyle in the another country. You think how 나는 어땠지?
Mm. Like how
나는
can I
한국에서 어,
uh
난
like
한국에서
how can I be
어떤
mm.
사람인지
음.
Mm.
생각해보는 계기가 되니까
맞아요. 달라요.
예,
Like
예,
the thinking, the mindset is a little bit
Yeah.
different.
예, 예. I think it is very good chance for me. 예. 나는 I really 했다.
됐다?
It's I really hurry.
Yeah.
Mm.
I really hurry to study or mm, make make work, make money or yeah, propose to go to
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
propose. Yeah,
Mm.
it is Korea culture.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right, right.
it's a success.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I think another country people their have their own purpose. Um, yeah,
Mm.
so
Mm.
that chance is very good for me. Yeah, I think.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
travel give me another sight or
Mm.
another life lifestyle mind. Yeah,
Mm.
I
Mm.
think.
맞아.
Yeah, I think it.
Mm.
So so and third one is travel can chance to see another country's market state or
Mm.
um, economy state. You
Mm.
can see that that country's 유행
여행,
It's like wrong.
flow.
travel, flow,
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. Economy vibe or flow, and
Mm.
uh, you catch you catch that flow and applicate in your own country.
Mm.
Yeah, like I think Europe people's buying water in the
Mm.
restaurant, but
Mm.
Korean is never
그치.
buying. Yeah, but because Korea water is so clean,
Mm. Mm.
but I think water is to have great, very good or not good, and have plastic or a little plastic
Mm,
is is harmful for people.
mm,
So I think, oh, can how can I how can I save the water in Korea?
mm.
Is is chance is this chance for
Yes.
me?
음,
예, 그런
So,
생각도
uh,
할 수 있다.
so
음,
You can find chance or catch another
opportunity.
business model,
yeah,
opportunity. Yeah, go
No,
to travel. Yeah,
so
smart.
I
good.
think.
He's so smart,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Thank you.
because like for people, they don't think like that. You know
음,
what I mean? Not a
음,
lot of people think like that,
Mm-hmm.
or not a lot of people, um,
Mm-hmm.
like people just think, oh, I just travel. They don't really learn anything or think about anything. But
음,
for you to like travel and also like, oh, this can be something, this can be an opportunity, or
Mm-hmm.
that's like very impressive.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm always I'm always looking for difference for another country.
From another
Yeah.
country. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
음.
Thank you.
Well,
Little.
I definitely, I definitely secondhand that for sure. Like you said,
Mhm,
piggying back off what you said, Zarona, is not a lot of people do actually pay attention.
mhm,
Just because when they travel somewhere, they're just like, oh, I'm just there resting or there to just take a break. But then some people like Jae Jun is also doing that, but he's also looking,
Yeah,
for
the opportunity.
different opportunities or ways that, oh, they do this differently than where I'm from. Maybe I can learn a little bit from it and maybe see if I can, use of it later on, either in the future or maybe start something new and it can be something, an opportunity that turns into something, incredible down the road. So definitely listen to that advice. That's really good advice. Always, when you're somewhere new, always look for
Yeah,
those new aspects that you didn't think about before. You never
true,
know
true, true,
what you
true.
can like learn or improve in certain aspects. So definitely keep your eyes open. Meet people. I would also say
Right,
meet
right.
people because
mhm,
one of the things that Jeju says is like when you're in a country, you can tell how people are. So when you're there,
Mm,
you can kind of figure out, okay, people are kind of like this, they're kind of like that. So maybe if I'm able to accommodate myself pretty well, then I can really make myself like become someone friendly of them and then like really get close. That would help you a lot. I would say that helped me,
mhm,
especially
mm,
during my time in Korea. Like at first, I was definitely very lost and actually didn't know like who to say hello to or like how should I go up to people because it was like very confusing for
mhm,
me. Um,
맞아.
so it took me a little bit of time, and then I decided, oh, let me just be forward. And luckily, I was able to meet someone like Jejun, but it is pretty tough. So after a bit of time getting used to it more and kind of seeing how people
mhm,
are, then you become a little bit more confident, more assured. Oh, hey, I can actually make friends with very good people, and that's something
mhm,
incredible. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are things I would definitely say. Like just meet people because you never know what awesome people you're gonna have
Before.
and meet, and then obviously look at the amount of people I met in Korea: Zorona, Jeju,
mhm,
Kirim, all these incredible people that I definitely say that are like long life friends now, hopefully. So that's pretty
mhm,
much the best part
Yeah.
about it. But no, I
mhm,
definitely
Yeah. And
agree. No.
it's kind of also hard to meet people to like
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
work out with because like sometimes like when I see like someone, I want to like talk to them maybe like it goes style 너무 좋았지 or 느낌 좋았지 like your vibe is nice but
Yeah.
like 자신감 없어 like I don't have that confidence anymore
Mm.
so like what is like let's say like what like how to say like for people who are struggling like oh 사람 좋았지 or they like someone or they want to be friends with some person right but like 어떻게 like they don't know how to approach do you have any like tips
Mm.
to approach people because my approaching stories, I'll let you know. A lot. I've had so many stupid Korean stories. I'll let you know
Mm.
some, but like for you guys, like it was some or like you want to like you got like you want to like talk to this person. 근데 자신감 없어. 이거 나 어떻게 이렇게지? Like how? What do you do?
Okay, I think young Korean people
Mm.
like take photo or
Mm.
Instagram. So
Mm.
you can you can say you can say him or her. Oh hi, can you take a picture for me? So
Mm.
they take a pose very professionally
Mm.
and have a many photo and
Mhm.
and you can change your Instagram is
Mm.
there. So so you have another chance there too. Oh, where are you from? Or can you have lunch another day? Yeah, I think that is very good chance or idea. I
그냥
think
this is this is swap 101 how to be an extrovert class 101 그치 this is
yeah.
extroverted class
Yeah.
101 okay
Extrovert
that was a
class.
good tip I'm gonna do
Very
that
good.
I'm gonna do that
Yeah, thank you.
진짜
Oh, that.
Oh,
Oh, let me
no.
share some of mine actually. So before I talked to Jae Jun, I was scared of doing
Mm.
it, but it was
Oh,
because in other classes I would go up to
mhm,
people and actually like try to be friends.
mhm.
And some of the reactions I would give would be like priceless. Just because like I would go up to them
누구야
and then they would be like,
그치
huh? Like look at me like strange, and then they'd be like, and then start like walking away.
그치
And I'm just like, but I just want to be
Why?
friends. So I was like, well, is something wrong with me? Is there a problem with me?
Mm,
So I was
mm,
scared, but I think it's more of that like mm,
mm,
take a risk kind of thing
culture. It's more like Korea when I was there is more of a culture where it's a little bit strange just to like really go up to someone and be like, hey, let's just
mm.
be friends or something like that, or let's talk or let's do
mm,
something. You don't see that quite often. You sometimes get it with some people, but I don't think it's something that you see like every day. So I think
Mhm,
when they do see it, they're like, this is weird. Let me kind of like step back. And so
mhm,
I think seeing that kind of made me realize, okay, then I have to mm, maybe take a different approach. So after that,
mm,
the last time I did it was with June, Brad, and everyone in that
mm,
class. But then after that, it was literally, it would be things like going into class. We would go into class and then we lost June.
I think we lost Sergio.
He must have exited by accident, but uh, we'll get him soon. I'll message him in a sec, but I'll continue. Um, when I was in class, I kind of learned to when we had activities where we would like maybe sit next to each other or different things. That's the time I would use to actually like, oh, let me try to get close to someone. Like, I know in marketing with us, we would have the SSBSC or whatever that we had to do. Those things at the end, and people were trying to like help each other out. So we were literally like, I would use that time, be like, okay, I don't know this question, so let me go ask for help, and then I would ask for help, and then people would be like, oh, okay, let me help you this and that, and then that would be like easy ways to like, okay, let me start an easy conversation, then it can turn into maybe being more friendly, and then
Mm.
should we have him back? There he goes.
No
Yeah.
question. Oh, okay, okay,
Oh,
okay.
we got him back. Cool.
Going back.
Um,
Okay. Because
but
yeah, also
yeah. 응?
괜찮아요?
Yeah,
Is it
sorry,
okay?
sorry.
Yeah, like definitely like I remember story time. So I remember when me and my mom we were 처음 한국에 왔어요.
음.
First time I came here with my mom and we saw this girl. It was in 세종대학교. She had this nice purse. 이거 가방 너무 좋았지. So my mom ran to her. Your bag is so pretty. And then was like, your hair is so pretty. And the girl was like, you know what I mean? Like she was so stuck because my mom, right? And then she was like, oh, like, like scared at a point. And I was trying to tell my mom, like, yo, man, I think we freaked this girl out. Like, yeah, let's stop. And my mom was and she had like long hair like mine, but I think prettier. And then the girl was like literally like so scared. And because in abroad, like we hug people. Hugging is really normal, right?
Oh, yeah.
My mom hugged this girl. She hugged the Korean girl. And surprisingly, the next time we went to Sejong, they will always hug each other.
Oh.
But she doesn't speak English and my mom doesn't speak Korean. But I don't know how they found a way to like 뭐지 talk to each other. So she like, oh 친구야, my mom be like, oh my friend, and they will hug each other. And I swear, like I don't understand. And then she was actually my sombe because we're in the same hotel Gwangwang together. But she was already leaving. She was in her last year. It was my first year. And she didn't speak any English, of course. But, as I said, sometimes you got to take that risk. It can be good. And sometimes it can be bad. It's like, for me, I went up to this girl and I was like, oh, moro no mucho watch. Like, I like her hair, right? And then she just looked at me. 누구야? She was like, who are you? I was like, just, just like your hair, like that's 그냥. And then her expression was just like really priceless. Like, who are you? Like that kind of thing. So I don't take offense to it, but at the same time,
Oh,
yeah,
no, yeah.
like it goes both ways. It can be good,
Mhm.
it can be bad. So
No,
that's
definitely.
another description of a person.
Yeah.
Is there any like funny story you have that like you tried to approach someone and then it went bad, or you tried to approach someone and then it went good and you're like surprised? Is there any incidents you've had?
Okay. Okay. Let's say yesterday I have
Okay.
oh no, yesterday I have a meeting or orientation with new face with new face 23 학번 23학번 23학번 yeah they're new face in Sejong University, so I introduce myself and make have dinner and have just alcohol with that yesterday. But there's 소심하다, not good talker. So I think, oh, it's hard time for me. But how can I up of this bike or state? So I just talk about their life. Oh, where are you from? Or how you come university? Oh yeah, that story is very loose, but it's very daily life. So there is so interesting to me.
Mm.
Yeah, they wanted to know just me or school life.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I just I just question their life.
Life.
Mm.
Oh yeah, so I think on another time or next time I will introduce myself and my story, and
Mm.
then question
No.
to their story. Yeah,
Mm.
that
Um.
is good to close way. I think.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Oh. 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 That's
definitely. Yeah.
nice.
Mm.
What about
Mm.
you, B?
Mm. I'd say it's interesting just because, like you said, there are times where, you just take the chance and, go up to someone and say hello or, try to be friendly and um, it can turn out great. And as far as like good stories about me, I mean, you two here are literally great examples of it. Literally,
Mm.
it was just going up to them and just literally saying, hi, uh, let's become friends or let's talk a little bit more. Literally, Zerona and me literally talked one time and then we were like heading the same because we pretty much lived in the
Live
same
this way.
area. So we walked the same place and we literally just talked. And it was just like, oh, how, how was your time here in Korea? How are you dealing with things and things like that? And that's how we literally got super close in literally a short time. Just because of like how honest and sincere and how forward we can be. And then with Jae Jun, it was literally like, boom, we said, oh, let's be friends. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And literally right after that, we literally became so close. We
Yeah.
Mm.
ate, we got coffee, we went to go watch Black Panther when it came out too. Um,
Ah,
literally,
Joe,
yeah, yeah, yeah. When I
you
go,
watched Black Panther twice?
yeah, twice.
I
That's
feel
good
cheated on.
movie.
So
그리고 너,
I,
나, 저도 me
yeah.
and Karen and Brian 그 같이 이거 Black Panther 봤어요.
Mm,
Mm,
And then you went to see it
so,
again with
yeah, second
yeah,
time.
yeah. But so we went to go see with them. We went to uh the park next to the university. I forgot the actual name.
Yeah,
어린이 대공원?
Yeah, it did.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we went there, we walked, and then we went to the exhibits that were kind of there.
Mm,
We spent a lot of like quality time, and then at the end when I was leaving, spent time
mm,
at Jeju, like where he was staying at, and we had like a
mm,
cool
음,
party. It was just awesome. Like I'm not gonna lie, like he became one of like the people that I like really wanted to spend time with, and like actually like uh, missed him dearly, and he became like super close friends. So like
음,
I'm glad that I took like the risk of like going up to both of you and really like and look at how it turned out to be. Like we're on a podcast together, or talking
mm,
맞아.
about these awesome things. And but again, there are like downsides, going up to people, and it can uh, make you sometimes feel like, oh, is there a problem with me? Did I say something wrong, or
맞아.
um, did I don't know, make them nervous by the way I said
음,
something? Like there's so many different things, but I think the main thing is to like just try it. Like don't be afraid. Just be yourself. And I think as long as you're yourself and you do that, I think you'll find people that, you know, oh, I want to be friends with that person because he's very cool. He's somebody that I kind of want to spend time with. And that's something that I always strive to be is just myself always. And then I try to show that off when I meet new people. And it's been working for me in terms of that, like that. Recently, I don't really have stories about like meeting new people because I haven't really. I've been mostly focused on, classes,
That's
exams,
cool.
yeah, school and things like that. So I haven't really like done any of that. There's been a few people here and there from like um, classes in terms of like they've been working and they're in interesting areas of business that I'm kind of interested in. So I've gotten to know them a little bit in terms of trying to get more knowledgeable. But other than that, it's just been kind of myself. I think I really grew a lot in Korea for sure, just because it was so different, you know. And
맞아, 맞아, 맞아.
so I'd say that that would probably be the difference for me for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we already know how to make friends, right? So we're gonna go to the
Mm.
next level.
Ooh.
So 그냥
Yeah.
let's say you like someone, right? You have an interest in them, right? Like 관심 있어요. Like 사람 관심 있어, right? So maybe it's a girl or a boy, and then you have let's say for example, like you have an interest in a girl, right? Like you see her in the 식당, 이거 너무 예뻐. 아, 진짜 좋아요. 이렇게지. How do you approach a girl like that if you like the girl? Or like if you have an
Oh,
interest in the girl, how will you approach it? Or like,
oh,
or for example, a girl, how would you want a girl to approach you?
Ooh.
Because for me,
That's a
I
good
don't know how to approach boys. Because when I approach, I'm just like, oh no, you're much 잘생겼다. 이렇게. I just tell the boy he's handsome.
I mean, I don't think the guy would be like, "Oh no, don't
Some
say
of them
that."
are like,
Oh, really?
what the hell? Yeah, some of them, because I'll just like, because I just walk up to them, maybe like you're eating, right? Just finish eating, like, come on, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but like, 이거 너무 잘생겼다. Like, 이렇게. And some of them are like, 감사합니다. Some of them are like, yeah, you too, 이렇게. So how will you, okay, two questions. How will you approach a girl, or how do you want the girl to approach you? You know, these are for the single people like me. We need to learn.
okay.
Mm.
I think I can't use a straight way because I am ashamed or
시간
really
없어.
little shy that way. But also I can use round way. Like first mission is befriend.
Always.
Not too close. Yeah, not too close, but just a far friend. Befriend, and have another meeting or another date with her. I'll have go to exhibition or do studying with her. Yeah, and nothing she is little bit too close. And that time, oh, actually I like you, not to friend. I like yeah. So mostly I divide real friend or real real
I need to
girlfriend.
take notes.
Yeah,
You take notes?
I divide it. Real friend is anything I can, but not real friend. Real girlfriend is very sensitive, very be careful. So mostly they have same feeling to me. I think, yeah, I think my attitude is different.
Right.
Friends and girlfriends.
Yeah.
It's different.
I can't believe you're actually writing.
Look, man. Okay, so how do you want a girl to approach you? Like, do you want straightforward girl or you want like Don
아,
style?
음, too burden?
Mm,
부담스럽다? Straight way? Me
straight
too
way?
burden?
Mm,
Yeah. So I don't like straight way. Oh, I like you.
mm,
I want to make a date,
Date?
or I want I want to be my boyfriend. It's
mm,
a little burden to me,
Uh,
but uh but she said, "Oh, can you have dinner or movie with me?" Oh,
mm,
ah,
uh, that way is very easy or
mm,
friendly,
mhm,
I choose. So, um, my
mm,
ex, my exes always come that way.
mm,
Friend, uh,
mm,
slight friend, and next
light and
girlfriend.
mm.
Yeah,
girlfriend.
that track. Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh,
I got
and it's
notes
my
actually.
turn, I guess. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
it's
Brian,
All right. I got you. I got you.
I think it's Korean culture.
Mm,
Korean culture. Okay, this is
Yeah.
for Korean. For all you viewers out there. Okay, I've been living here
Korean.
for 4 years. I didn't know this.
Mhm.
So now
There you
it's
go.
mine.
Yeah, if
Okay,
you're in Korea.
Ajushi, your turn.
Ajushi? Oh,
아저씨.
there we go again.
No, you gotta give us. We need the young perspective and the old perspective. Come
Oh,
on, man.
what is that? Okay. Um, so for the old perspective, I guess. Um, hmm, how would approach? Uh, I've never really kind of like Jae Jun also, never been really straightforward.
Mhm.
Um, the only time I was that one story I already told you guys about was the one girl in high school where I literally was like, "Oh,
Mm,
I like you so much," and then she like rejected me right then and there. It was the most embarrassing thing ever. That was the only time. Um, but after that, uh, like Jejun, the main thing I really not necessarily do, but like I become friends with everyone. And as time goes on, if there's an interest or we get really close and there's something there that's special, then that's someone that I'll um, look more to, or like I'll hang out with them more, or I'll pay attention to them more. For me, it kind of takes time to really get used to someone and to be really
mm,
like close with them. I think because
mm,
of like previous experiences, I think that's kind of like how I've come to
mm,
become. Like
mm,
it takes time for me to really like think about that in a certain way.
mm,
And so yeah, I don't tend to
mm,
be very forward. I tend to be like very relaxed, but once there is a slight of interest, I tend to um maybe experiment's the wrong word, but try things to see if they maybe have an interest back. What I mean by that is I'll be more forward in terms of trying to hang out with them more, like, oh, let's go
green
grab
lights.
dinners, or yeah,
Okay.
let's go see a movie, or let's do something like that.
Oops.
And then notice if they like doing that also, then okay, I'll become a little bit more forward that way and become a little bit more, reach out more. Mm. Also, I think maybe Jejun or like guys, I think in general, sometimes when we're really like being quite forward, sometimes we'll do like very small detailed things. Um, girls also would do these kinds of things also kind of check. But a guy would like, let's say you're walking with the person and
Mm-hmm.
um you want to get closer, right? So you get close, and sometimes a guy would accidentally like hit hands. Sometimes, like you
Mhm.
just be walking and you sometimes hit hands.
Yeah.
No, literally, it sometimes hit hands, and then the guy,
Mhm.
me,
Yeah.
would wait and see what they say, and they're like, "Oh, why? What happened?" Then that's
Wait,
like, "Oh, that's maybe like a no."
see
Mm,
But if they don't
what
say anything and you get more closer and they're okay with it, then it's like,
no
"Oh, okay,
say closer.
there's like little small things sometimes that people do, guys and girls.
Mm,
Um, so I think that's mostly I've done that, like try to get close and see how they react and see how they feel. Um, but
close and reaction.
if I show like, oh hey, I want to spend more time with you, then that's usually a sign that I maybe have an interest and maybe would like to get to know you better.
Mm,
But like Jae Jun says, there's
more
like
time.
people that you see just
Interest.
friends, and then
mhm.
people that you're like, oh, they could be something, you know? I think
Potential
both guys and
girlfriends.
girls, yeah, there's
Oh,
both
yeah,
guys
yeah,
and
yeah.
girls that you can like see the same
So
thing.
there's a difference between potential
Yeah,
girlfriends
yeah.
and friends. Okay.
Now
How
girls
do I
coming
know?
up to me. Oh, there you
Mhm.
go. Girls coming up to me.
How do you want a girl to come? Do you want a girl to be like,
Hmm. This
which
one's
one?
interesting. Just
Mm,
because I'm not really had that experience of somebody coming up to me and being like very straightforward. Um,
Mhm.
mm,
so I really couldn't really say. Pretty. I think it would be pretty cool to have somebody like be that straightforward because I've never had experienced it before. So I would like to
mm,
see how it would feel like if a girl would come up and be like, "Oh, uh, you're super cool, and I maybe want to hang out more. Or do you want to go like on a date or something?" And now I'll be like, "Oh, I never experienced that, and I don't know how it would feel." So I think that would be kind of like interesting, and I would kind of want to see it. But then also, like Juju said, I'll be like, "Oh, like this makes
burdened.
me a little uncomfortable
Mhm.
because usually I'm one to like be patient and wait.
Mhm.
So if that happens, that would be a little bit like, oh, I don't know. Like this is kind of weird. And I think guys
Mm,
would kind of think that. I think guys would take it more as like a little bit strange, just because usually
Mhm.
guys tend to be the ones, usually, some I would say most times, be the one to actually go. So
mm,
for a girl to do it would be, I think, interesting. Like, oh, that's very
Mhm.
cool. I kind of want to experience it. But also just a little strange, just because it's never happened, and it's really like I think
Mhm.
a little uncommon. I would think. I mean, but I think it'd be kind of cool to have it happen. Oh, you're so cool. Or,
Mhm.
I like you. No,
Yeah.
no, no. It would be kind of cool, but um, I don't know. I just never really thought about it. It's just
okay, okay. Never
but
thought about it.
yeah. But it's interesting. Like
Okay.
me and Jejun from different parts, like culture
Mhm.
wise, but our thinking is the same there. Like, oh, we're
Mm,
like not too straightforward. Like that's not us. We're more,
Mhm.
even though we're E's. Like me and Jeju are like very, um,
extroverted.
and yeah, extroverted. We like to be
Yeah,
friendly.
yeah, yeah.
We like to
Mhm.
talk with people. So
Mm,
it's funny how we're like that with friends
mm,
or with like new people, but if
Mhm.
it's like it's maybe someone we're interested in, we're like, ooh, like we wouldn't be that way.
Mm.
We'll go a little bit curve, like side, like you said.
Yeah.
We'll go like, oh, let's just be friends, get to know each other, and then see like, okay, then we'll start being a little bit more forward. So it's interesting to see.
mm, mm.
How about
Okay, okay,
you?
okay.
What how would you want a guy to like go up to you? Or
Like in Nigeria is different. In Nigeria, boys are just straightforward. Like in Nigeria, like
mm,
let's say you're in the shikang, they will be like they will buy you a meal or buy you. They'll be like, hey, they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry to bother you, but you just look pretty, and I just wanted to like get your number like that.
Mhm.
So actually, that's how boys approach in Nigeria.
Mhm.
to just come up to you and just be like, "Oh, you look interesting to me," or like, "Can we be friends?" They use that, but it's like kind of like, oh, not friends first. It's just more of like one day, one boy came to me, and then he was like, and then he looked at me. He just kept on staring at me. This was back in Nigeria, right? And then I was like, what the hell? And then he was just like, he came up with this because I like stupid jokes. I love stupid jokes, like lame jokes, ajushi joke.
Oh,
Then he came to me. He was like, he came to me and he was like, "I think I've seen you or heard about you before." And I was like, "Really? Where?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right, from the Bible." I was like, "Huh? What do you mean?" I was like, "What?" And then he was like, "Because you're an angel in disguise."
hi.
At first, so when because my facial expression is very, I was like, so I told him to go back. So I told him to go back and come back again with a different approach.
Oh,
I was like,
that's a good
go
one.
back and come back again with a
That's a
different
good
approach.
one.
And then he actually went back again.
Oh,
And then he
whoa.
was like, I'm so sorry, just that your beauty is just a discovery. I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. But then
Oh.
so about me, like I'm actually used to boys being so straightforward.
Mm.
So, because for me, I don't know, like the funny thing is that all the guys that have approached me, like to act, we all became friends. Like I just friend zoned them or they friend zoned me, you know what I mean? So actually the guy that approached me, we're still friends till now. We talked yesterday, actually. We're still friends up to now. But for me, because I think maybe I'm just blind. I'm love blind. So I don't know the difference between a boy coming to approach me and a friend. You know what I mean? I cannot see the difference. So for me, because I am Pabu, Sarang Pabu, I'm stupid in love, stupid when it comes to love. So I just prefer someone straightforward. For me, how do I approach a guy? Actually, me too straightforward, actually. Because for me, if I become friends, I become too friendly with him. Like it has happened so many times that I like a boy and I become their friend. And it becomes so bad that like, what's the word? I start to call him like my brother. And and boys don't like that. Boys don't like that. Like, so actually happened to me in high school. And I was really close to this guy. And I was like, you know what? And then he actually went on a date. And for him, it was a date. And then for me, and then he was like, Zen, I want to tell you something. And I was like, you tell you something. I was like, you're like a big brother I always wanted. And then he looked, and then I just noticed that he's, like for me, go nanan nunchi opso. Because I don't have like nunchi, right? And then for him, he just got so sad. And then I think 5 years after, he was like, when we went to this, I wanted to tell you that I liked you. I was like,
No.
because for me, I don't know the difference. I don't really know because I'm just like zeroing out to everyone. I think that's a really bad thing though. But like, I don't like whether a boy likes me or not, I just act the same to everyone.
Right.
That kind of, I don't know. But now, thank you for your notes. I'm gonna practice this. So I'm gonna go to Hongdae tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna think of like certain things. So I would say just continue to be yourself, just because like that's the best way for someone to get to know you. Just be yourself, right? But as far as like to help you a little bit of maybe if a guy likes you, um, look at small details like I said, like if they're reaching out to you a bit to like do things, oh, let's grab dinners, let's get coffee, let's go watch a movie, or let's like he's putting the effort to like see you, he's interested in some little way, or he's curious. He's definitely
Curious.
curious. Um, I would also say things like the situation and how they came up to you also matters a lot. If it's situations where, let's say, you're in class and you're in a group or things like that, and he comes up and like, oh, let's become friends or something, it's most likely just because like it's the class and you're kind of getting used to it, right? But if you're a good example could be you're with a friend and you have like all these new people coming in, but you don't know them, and you have this big party group or like this group and you're planning on doing things. If a guy takes initiative or like starting to like, oh, there's this girl over there, and he'll start like going to her and like wanting to get close and speak and actually like show mm, like that he like tries or like he's actually like putting effort and trying to like reach out, I would say for sure a good 80 or 90% he has like really somewhat of an interest there, or he's curious for sure. Like if a guy doesn't like you, you'll notice right away just because like he'll just not put in the effort. You'll definitely like notice those things. Like I believe if a guy doesn't really like you, he will like, oh, let's do something. But let's invite everyone more. Let's invite other people. Let's do this, or let's uh hang out with everyone. But if he's more like, oh, let's do something, and then he's like, oh, but let's just do it like kind of us this time, or let's do something that you really like. Like it could be something like mm, thing like it could be you know each other a little bit, and let's say he doesn't like something, but you do, and he still does it. Oh, he's curious. He's definitely somewhat interested because like a guy wouldn't take that um step if he didn't have an interest in you or wanted to like do it. So those small little things are like things that you can like notice and see, and then you'll definitely like start. Oh, okay, he might be interested because he's like showing effort. If a guy is putting effort, for sure, then he definitely has curious.
Yeah.
I would say, I think Jae Jun would probably say the same. Like, if you like someone, you try to like be with them. You try to hang out with them. You try to dinners, get coffee, to do things. You like show effort.
And I think its last tip is important. Maintain different attitude to the person you want to make your boyfriend. Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Different attitude from just friend or to make boyfriend. Attitude is
different.
Yeah, different is I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yes, got that I know. Different attitude. I don't know. I don't show up, so I don't know. It's like it's like how is the attitude different? Like is it like you become like more
if you hang out with your best friend, high and or shaking, but if you want to make boyfriend, little calm or little little. I can't.
I guess in that I understand, but not too crazy.
Yeah.
A guy becomes
Make difference. Big difference.
Make a difference. Okay,
Mm.
okay, like a little bit of difference. Okay, got it.
And I think a guy would try to like touch the person in some way. Like he'll be more okay to like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about what happened, or he'll do, you know, obviously like if her hair's there, he'll do this, or he'll show like small gestures like that. Like a guy that has interest will do things like that.
Ah, your boy's so complicated.
Yeah, I mean, girls do the same thing, so it's like both. It goes both ways. But those are some tips that can maybe help you guys out. Yeah. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about. How about some? How about some struggles? And what I mean by that is, are there things that you're nervous about, scared of, or not really sure about? Like, are there things that you look and you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that? Or when you were growing up, were there things that made you afraid or made you think that you weren't able to do it or couldn't do it? Or you know, different things like that. Were there things that you were scared of and nervous about, and then looking back at it, it's a lot different than it used to be? That's
makes sense.
Oh, can't hear you.
안 떨어졌어. 처음 touch.
We can't see you talk.
We can't hear you.
Yeah. Message him.
Are you gonna? 안 떨어졌어.
I think he's trying to fix it.
Yeah. 다시 like go in and out. I think maybe that's the problem. 아니. 뭐 어때요? 뭐 다시 한번 okay.
Oh, he backed out. Just send him a message. But you can start off. How about anything said like you were scared of dealing with?
I was always scared of meeting people. Actually, that was one thing about me, like high school, because I went from elementary school, I went to another city for middle school, and then for high school, I went to another school in high school, and then from high school, I went to South Korea. So all my life, kind of like been moving. So I'm kind of afraid of like you know. Yeah. Oh,
I'm coming.
Oh, Conchenji.
Yeah, is it bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, can you explain again that?
Oh yeah. So my question was, are there things that you're scared of or that makes you nervous, like the future or things that you're dealing with now? Maybe pressure, not only from like maybe people that you know, but maybe culture-wise or things that like growing up made you really like question yourself or really made you think a lot. Like those are things that, you know, we're really curious about.
Oh, it's okay. I find it hard not to be free. Like pressure or I can choose anything. That situation is a stress to me. I I have to do I want. But it's okay. I can control another people, but I want to control just me. Yeah, like someday, I have many mission or many assignment. Uh, that that is okay, but another people or my parents, oh, you have to do that, or you have to do this first, and second, it's hard to me. So I want to make me free. So my parents know that. So um, their duty for me.
Me.
Oh yeah. They give me 선택권 is they give me
Complication.
complication choice to me. So I really hate I can't choose just one thing. Yeah. That is hard or scary situation to me. Yeah. Always. Yeah.
What about you, Sarah?
I think for me, as I said, like meeting people was something that I was scared of, but also my love life. I am to be scared of my love life because I don't have any love life. Because because for me, like as I said, like I don't know the difference of how to act. So like actually, I started to take like love lessons from an Oni. I know it sounds weird, but yeah.
Love lessons.
Yeah. What like she was telling me, like I think there's a thing in Korea where they're like, oh, I have a new hand lotion, and they'll like try to do it to like it's called the hand lotion trick.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You know it, Brian?
No.
So girl will be like, oh, I have a new lotion. I bought a new lotion. Do you want to try it? And then she put it on her hand, and then she take the boy's hand and try to like put it on his hand and stuff like that. So actually, I tried it. I tried it.
You tried it?
No.
I would say it didn't go
well. Let's just say I have a new friend.
No.
So as I was doing, because like I don't know, so I was like, oh, I have this new lotion, and he was like, oh, how is it? And I was trying to give it to him, laughed on his face. Oh my! So I was like, oh, you hit up, and I was like, I know, because it wasn't coming out, right? I was like, and then he was on his face.
Oh my!
And then I was like, oh, Jusamda. And then I was cleaning it for him. And then you're trying to clean the lotion, right? But it's like getting more oily, right? It's like, oh, Jusamda. And then he was like, oh, no, it's okay. And I was like, oh my God.
Okay.
And then he was like, oh, no, it's okay. And then I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do, right? So he was like, and he still was like, oh, I want to try the lotion. So he took the lotion and then he put it by himself, and then he was like, oh yeah, the like nimse chuachi, like the smell is nice kind of thing. And so it was like a very awkward situation, right? So I knew he liked basketball, so I just changed the topic to basketball. Like, oh yeah, so who's your favorite basketball player? And then we just changed the topic because and then he was like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, I love Stephen Curry too. Did you watch this thing? And I was like, because so for me, I just like switch. Because for me, I'm a good talker, so I know how to switch a conversation, right?
Oh, yeah.
But like when it comes to like so also that's a struggle for me, and I'm getting older. I'm almost
Idris,
Brian.
she says that when she's like 20, 21.
Oh,
I'm getting
really?
older.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Still,
Uh,
would you? Oh,
but
what did you want to say something? You wanted to say something?
oh
it's just I curious about Girona in Seoul now.
네. 지금
Oh,
신림동.
yeah.
Live in
okay,
신림.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm getting older. I have no love life, so I'm kind of worried about. Even my mom is worried. My mom is like, "So you don't have any boyfriend?" I'm like, "Nah, I got nothing." She's like.
Oh,
So she joked about it. She was like, she told my dad, like, in the group chat, she was like, I think Zara will just adopt like 6 kids. I was like, oh my. Even my parents gave up on me, they
oh
poogie. You know,
wow.
you know.
No,
So
you're so young.
I know.
yeah, I'm turning 22.
She's worried about something that's just
22. The kid 22 is when I'm 25, I'm like Ajuma.
eh? 25?
Yeah, when you're
Brian,
25, when you're 25, damn, you like the old age comes. You become like you become like Egi Ajushi.
Oh,
oh,
I guess me, right?
okay.
Ajushi all over me.
몰라요? 그거 되게 많아.
No,
I
You
guess
don't
I'm
know?
just Ajushi.
no.
Oh no, you already graduated.
Oh,
You're
I'm
almost
already
할아버지.
graduated.
아, 그치. 할아버지 이렇게지.
How to okay.
Oh, we're still young.
Yeah.
But you're don't worry about those things, literally.
I'm worried.
Like
No.
those things will come. Like you're an awesome person. Someone's definitely
I
gonna
hope so.
pop in your life and you're gonna be like, oop, got him,
I
and
hope he doesn't run
I got
away.
her. And you'll be fine. Just don't worry. Just continue to, do
그래.
you, and you'll find someone. Seriously, like you don't gotta
I
like
hope so.
worry about those things. But for me, what I was scared of was something a little bit different in terms of my parents got divorced when I was really young. So dealing with the aspect of maybe having to grow up a bit quicker than most people in terms of not only because of like my mom having to work like either late nights or like not be home because of work. I would have to take care of myself and look after my sister and things like that. So I would say when I was younger, that was a little bit hard in terms of like, oh, I have to be, someone that can be there for them, but also try my best to like, okay, I have to, become something, do something. And I think throughout like my education, that was like a burden on me just because it felt like I always had to try my best, but then there were moments where like it was just not going good for me, like grades wise and things, and I was like stressing. I was like, oh, well, like this is like not it for me. And then I think I was able to like, oh, I can do this. Like I want to be able to do that. And I think that's when it changed. And it became like, okay, like I'm the oldest between us two, like the children, but I also have to learn like what I do in the future. I have to give back to obviously the person that like did everything for us, my mom. So she became like the person that like I look towards as I'm not there yet until I can finally like you can rest now. You don't have to do anything for the rest of your life. Do whatever you want, you know. And then obviously for my sister being able to have her own business hopefully in the future doing what she loves doing. Hopefully I can provide that or helper in any way since I'm like dealing in business. So those are things that like I think before burdened me because I felt like so much pressure, like I had to do it, and then there was like, am I able to do it? Can I do it? Like that made me afraid. Um, so I think looking at it now, like I'm able to do so. I'm going to do it. Uh, so I think that's what I was scared of. But interestingly enough, is I'm going to go back to what Jae Jun said. Mm, I have some friends, some Korean friends that are actually like that as well, where they are afraid of not doing what they want as far as like their time or what they want to do. And most of the things I hear was when they were younger, sometimes very studious, study, perfect grades, working hard to like do what they want. But then when they got to the university or got to like a really high place, they started to ask, why am I doing this? Why do I like this? Do I enjoy this? And I think that's when it changed. They were like, no, I don't like any of this. Why am I doing this? So then they left. They finished like schooling wise, but then what they want to do in the future, they completely changed. They want to do what they want to do. They, went into a different field as far as like working or do activities that they never did before. Instead of like, I don't know, doing things like meetings or things like that, they like, oh, let me go to like nature. Let me do certain exercises. Let me learn languages. Let me do something that actually interests me. So that's something I think I notice a lot is at least in younger, like our age, like Korean friends that I made. Oh, I want to be me. I want to be free. I want to do what I want to do. I want to, experience life. I think I see that a lot more. So I think I definitely can understand where Jae Jun is like coming from and saying that. So
Definitely. But happiness is the most important
oh
thing
yeah,
in life.
yeah,
Joy and happiness. Very important.
yeah. Happiness for sure.
Okay. Don't forget, Zarna's random question for the day. Are you ready? You ready? 준비했어? You ready, Chuja? 다시 한번. 다시 한번. 알겠습니다. Oh my god.
There must be a problem with like connections. I've had problems with connections too.
True. I told you.
What?
Three of us, I think our craziness cannot handle the internet. I told you.
The three of us? You're saying Jae Jun?
You guys an E. You got a little bit Jimmy.
That's funny.
Oh,
good?
sorry,
There you go.
Wi-Fi is.
괜찮아.
Yeah, no, you.
It's good.
Okay.
We're finally at Zerona's question, so let's.
Zarna's random
yeah.
question for the day. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
What Korean food describes you?
What
Like,
Korean food?
뭐지? What Korean food is like you?
Dislike?
Is no, like you. Like 어떤 음식은 like what 뭐지? What food? What Korean food is like you? Like 이거 똑같
if you were a Korean food, what would you be?
What will you be?
Experience.
Like 근데 like 나는 for me, I am like 부대찌개.
Ah,
이거 저는 부대찌개. I feel like I'm like 부대찌개. You know what I mean? Because I'm
express me food.
yeah, like express you, yeah. Because
Yeah.
like budae is like spicy and it has like ramen, ram, like everything in so so you know, I'm a 2+1 yoja, 이렇게,
Oh.
you know, that's what they call me. You know what I mean? I'm a 2+.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I have everything,
Okay.
you know. I'm a budae 어떤 음식? Which 음식 is
It's like me.
Let me think about this too.
I think Brian is kimbap.
Yeah.
Yeah, 맞아. Brian is like kimbap, 맞아.
왜요?
I feel like Brian, his family is like kimchi kimbap, I think.
왜요?
Oh no, I just feel like how you're like sneakers, you know, cheap, convenient, and useful.
아니,
It's attack. It's
Okay.
attack.
And then
I think
Jae Jun,
I'm you know 냉면?
냉면.
냉면. I think I like 냉면. I think I am very simple, but I have
냉면.
essential
냉면 is like cold.
essential thing. I am simple, but I have essential things.
그치.
Yeah, like
interesting.
protein or carbohydrate. Yeah, it's very balanced food, but it's to look like too simple. Yeah, I think I am so simple.
But needed.
Needed. Yeah. And people feeling different. They taste
그치.
냉면. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
That's nice.
Yeah, 냉면's taste is very mysterious. Yeah, simple but different to another
person. Oh,
I think.
That was nice. That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
Oh,
Brian, your kimbap.
아니요.
No.
떡볶이야.
아니요.
Because your head is
I'm
like.
gonna say. I'm gonna say. I was gonna say something like kimchi or kimchi jjigae.
Oh, kimchi jjigae. Yeah.
Because I don't think of like spicy or anything, but kimchi is part of like culture, right? It's like everyone has it in Korea. Everyone is like there, and I don't mean like people like me or anything, but I mean like in terms of like you said before, I think I can fit well in everything. Like I think I can fit well in any situation or aspect that I'm in terms of if I'm new, I'm able to adjust well and like either depend on myself or becoming a little more forward and do things like go up to Jae Jun and say hello or something like that. If I'm in a big group, I can be someone very forward and be like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. You know, I can be that kind of person.
Yeah.
So I feel like kimchi, at least, is always in everything. It can fit in everything. Like if it's in every meal, you can have it in every meal.
Yeah.
So I think I can always have a place somewhere. I can be quiet, I can listen well, or I can speak a lot.
You can be the pangchan. You can be the like that.
Yeah, I can do that. But I can I think I can place myself really well in different situations. I think kimchi, anything kimchi related, kind of fit pretty well.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'm still good at chicken.
Yeah.
Because I got everything.
Yeah.
Funny, emotional,
Yeah.
Emotional?
but
That's a
definitely
good
with
one.
the most. Yeah. Oh my God. Like I can cry for someone, Like for example, like yeah, like some people don't know how to cry, so I cry for them,
Mm.
Okay. I'm true.
Jae Jun is like,
Good.
what is she talking about?
And yeah, like there's some people who like they don't know how to express their feelings, you know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know what to feel, so I help them feel it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, do you feel angry? Do you want to cry?
Yeah. I think you have many emotions. Yeah.
Fuchi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you F and Brian is F. I think that way. Yeah.
But I'm better. That's just...
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I like how you said, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. 맞아.
Right.
그치.
Oh,
Yeah.
맞아.
Of course. Yeah. True. Oh, yeah.
right, that's great.
Me
Well, that was a
too.
good question. That was a good
Me
question.
too. Yeah. Good question. Oh.
That's my random question for the
Oh.
day.
There is funny question. Yeah.
Do you have any question you want to ask or you're curious
Oh,
about?
yeah. Do you have any
Oh.
questions you want to ask us? Or
Oh yeah. Or you want to...
we're still like interested in maybe talking about different topics or
True.
want to talk about anything. So we're
Anything.
more than happy to listen to like guests. Maybe see oh, can you guys talk about this in some other episode? Or
True.
maybe you want to ask us something personal or anything like that, we're more than welcome to like answer. So if you have anything you want to say, you can tell us.
Okay, just a moment, please.
Yeah.
Any question? Or if you want to insult Brian, it's also okay.
Yeah, I guess because Karen started her. Well, no, you and Kim. Or
We don't insult you. We just tell you the truth.
I curious about that. What is the most meaningful thing about a podcast or YouTube like this?
I like the question.
Right. Brian and Jerona like conversation with another friend. What is proposed or have meaning this activity? Yeah.
You want to go first, Simone?
This most
Ryan, I think you go first. I think yeah, I'll steal what you say.
Okay. So the most meaningful, I would say the main reason we started this was to really two things: have fun, like enjoy topics that we say, but also be able to share, like share stories about us, share stories about our friends like you, Jae Jun, to share things that matter, things that like mean things. And having guests like you that are able to come here, and you're my friend from another country who's talking with me now, and he's able to, talk about your life, how you grew up, talk about school, what you want to do, your culture. Those things matter to me because those things are what makes you you. And those are things I want to hear, right? But I also want everyone else to learn, to be able to hear these honest, genuine stories, these awesome things, that to hear these awesome friends that I have, and to hopefully maybe make people be more happy to listen to these things, but also find people like I have find people like Jae Jun or Zorona or Canon
Yeah.
or everyone that we know. Find people like that are so awesome in so many different ways and can say so many incredible things.
Mhm.
To like be able to share these stories, these awesome fun moments where we can laugh, where we can enjoy ourselves. All three of us are from different parts of the world. We can talk like this on a podcast and have
Yeah.
fun, and being able to share our experiences, good or bad. I think that's important. Like, people always say the good things, but they don't talk about the bad things or how hard it's been, how the struggle, like that thing that we deal with as like young people. So I think it's like all of these things combine into one to make it the most meaningful. It's just this time that we have in this podcast with everyone, or with if it's just me and Zerona, is like we're able to share so many honest things, and I feel like not a lot of people do that. So I think it's like those two things for sure. Just the fun that we have, and then also just the honesty and the truth that we want to give out to people, the genuine friendships that we have, the genuine worries that we have, the genuine curiosities, interests, all these different things. Those matter to me. Those are why I heard Zerona and we were like, we should start a podcast, right? And I'm like, I don't know. But then thinking about it, these are things that like matter to me. These are things that I'm interested in. So I was like, let's do it. I want to do it because it could be fun. And it's been super fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's been like seriously like awesome to talk about these things and share with friends, and obviously we're gonna do a lot more. We're gonna have a lot more friends come on to learn about them, to hear their stories. Obviously bring back people. So have you back again, maybe have more friends on to have like a big group conversation, which would be super cool to have later on. But those are the most important, most meaningful things for me, for sure. And things that Rona probably says.
Yeah, just for people like there's a lot of people who do podcasts and stuff. Not all of them are genuine. Like not everything you see on the internet is real. Some people are fake. So just to be able to give like a real, genuine thing, I think might help other people. So for me, I do it because I'm like, oh, what if someone was like me or someone struggling like me? That's the main reason why I used to do it. And it's fun. That's why. So yeah. Good question. Good question.
Very good. Yeah.
Do you have another question? I think you have another question.
Oh, can you hear you?
Hunters.
Yeah, if you don't have to, the connection has been kind of badish for all of us.
Yeah, even me
Sometimes
too.
I can't really hear myself too well, so. But yeah,
The internet.
but that was a really good question.
It was
question for sure.
Namian. I never imagined anyone being Namian though.
That was cool, right?
He got a different brain.
Yeah, he thinks different, but that makes Jae Jun Jae Jun. There you go.
Okay, right here.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, I don't know why my Wi-Fi is.
No, you're good.
It's okay. I was nervous and worried before doing this, but I thought it was very good and meaningful activity to me or for our. Yeah, it's good experience and an opportunity for me. Yeah, thank you to invite me.
Oh, no. Of course, no.
Yeah.
You don't have to thank us for that.
No, it's okay.
Okay, who is your favorite co-host? Ryan or Zerona?
Oh, it's so hard question.
I know, right?
Zerona is the first time to meet, is very funny friend
그치.
and have many 매력,
expression.
many
Yeah.
you have many charm. I know that.
Ah,
Yeah. It's good for a chance I found you. And Brian is always
아주씨.
my no eh, 든든한
Like partner,
re-
like close friend,
reliable
reliable friend.
reliable friend. Yeah. I hope we can make another day or we met in Korea or
Oh yeah,
another
yeah.
city. Yeah.
Definitely.
So actually we still meeting technically now.
Yeah.
It's good chance and good experience for me. But I can choose you and
Yeah.
Brian.
So Zerona is the answer, right?
Equal.
Zerona.
Yeah.
Let's just say
Zerona,
you.
right?
Let's just say you.
Zerona, Majao.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
One
I
zero.
hope I hope you want to meeting in Seoul soon.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I don't buy
I don't mind.
so I'm free all the time.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to hang out, as long as you know, I'm here. I'm here.
No, yeah, for sure. No, definitely. I want my friends who are in Korea to just be around each other because I think everyone that I've met, I think you really become really good friends. And I think that's kind of like what I want everyone to just really be connected. So, what Jeju said, thank you. Those are very kind words of you. You're not the only one that thinks, reliable. I find you very reliable. When I was in Korea, I counted on you like a lot to help me, and you were always there. And you were able to hang out with us, to go out. You showed us places to eat, coffee, to go to the movies, to walk, to do all these different things, and not a lot of people do that. So to be honest, thank you so much. You know that you are a great friend. I appreciate you a lot. I would say I miss you dearly. Like, it's been a long time. Obviously, I can't wait, hopefully, to see you again soon. I hope to see everyone again. But hopefully, like one day we can do the podcast, but like in the same room together. I think that would be very, very fun. And something I look forward to hopefully one day for sure. But no, again, like, you don't need to thank me or thank us for inviting you. Thank you for joining. You were excellent. You were definitely like super good. Answered everything super well. Thank you for being honest, obviously. So, he left somehow.
We lost him again.
But he'll be
Are we
back.
gonna edit
He
this
might be
out
back.
though?
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Let's think about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I kind of just like the unfiltered version, and this unfiltered version is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, because everything that's happened is super fun, and I think that's the best way to show how like honest we are, is just letting things roll, just how we go. So, he's back. He probably exited by accident. No, definitely. So again, thank you for joining us. You were excellent. You're obviously one of my best friends in Korea. Can't wait to see you again. But again, seriously, I know you were scared when I told you, but you were amazing. You did awesome. Seriously.
Thank you.
So definitely hope to have you again sometime soon. I'm pretty sure Zerona feels the same way. So she could say the last couple of words and we can get out of here, guys.
I didn't cry.
You didn't cry?
Yeah. Because
you plan to cry?
Yeah.
No,
sorry.
No, you. I think he said you.
Oh, I didn't cry.
I didn't cry because I believe we will meet again. Yeah. Another day.
맞아.
Okay.
I do the last words.
Yeah, just say last thoughts or last thing that you.
Dear viewers, thank you.
Oh,
Nomu kamsa.
P.S.
Oh,
Say to like, comment, and everything, and then we'll get
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Tashambon, dear viewers, thank you. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share to your friends
Oh,
who have problems on how to be an extrovert, who have problems on how to approach people,
yeah.
who have problems knowing about things in life. I hope this podcast finds you very daring. For all the love we have had from Brian, Jae Jun,
Mhm.
Zarona, it has been real love, one love, all the love.
Yeah.
So please like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you don't, I'll hunt you.
Whoa. But
Wow.
I gotta put that spice there.
True.
Yeah, and
But Jae Jun, I know that you do like some editing work for some friends, things like that.
Oh,
YouTube. I know I want to give you this time to like share your information, like Instagram. If you have an Instagram, share it. If you do like YouTube videos for your friends, you can say their YouTube here, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
gladly like share that. So you
Thank
can say whatever you want here. So
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, really funny time today.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you have the YouTube that you want to like say?
Oh, no, not yet, not yet.
Ah, okay.
Not yet.
I'm not sure.
Coming
Yeah.
soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. Yeah.
Yeah, coming soon. It's about to debut.
Yeah,
Ooh.
wait for me.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Okay.
Wait for him.
Yeah.
I come back again here.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. But yeah. So that's it, guys. It was super awesome. Hope you enjoyed our podcast today with our special guest, my dear friend Jae Jun, who's here with us, of course, with Ms. Zarona over here. Super fun episode, and it's been awesome. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Like Zarona said, like it, like the video, comment, say again whatever your thoughts about the video, or maybe what you want to see in the future. Let us know. We're always happy to, reply and just talk with you guys. We're always interested in that. And yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, so you know that when these videos drop, we're gonna be very more active as far as like probably a video per week. So like definitely be prepared to get these podcasts. So
Sure.
yeah, and have more friends. And obviously in a future video, we'll definitely bring back my dear friend Jae Jun, and maybe in the next video have Brett and have all three of us here. So I think that'll be super fun. But yeah, we'll definitely look forward to in the future for that for sure. But so it's been awesome, guys. Yeah, so this is the end of the All Encompassing podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode. See you guys.
See you guys.